Hi, I'm Mark Ingerson, longtime Virginia forensics coach, and I'm here to give you some tips on judging extemporaneous speaking during Virginia High School League competition. Now, first off, let's just give a little bit of background of Extem. They're going to come to you already prepared. Extemp speakers will go to what's called the Extemp prep room, and that's a room where they're given topics, three topics. They have to choose one on some sort of current event topic, and they will have spent 30 minutes prepping a speech to deliver to you using some resources that they brought. Those resources might be hard copies, those resources might be from magazines or newspapers or online resources that are on their computer. And they're going to prepped out a speech. They're going to come to you. As soon as they enter the room, they're going to come one at a time, ask for their question, take their question, write it down on their critique sheet if they haven't written it already on their critique sheet. But make sure you have the question so you know what they're answering. Then just remember, they have 7 minutes to give the speech with a 30-second grace period. They're going to deliver the speech. It should be organized. You should be able to follow it. Most will do kind of the classic 5 paragraph essay format, which would be an introduction, 3 points, and then, or 3 body paragraphs, quote unquote, and then a conclusion. You should be able to follow it. They should be able to have resources and evidence, and their evidence should be based with sources. So, for example, they might say something like, the New York Times reported on October 21st, 2021. They're going to have some sort of sourcing that validates what they're saying. In terms of evaluation, look, it's a speech. All of us, have been in front of, have listened to speakers, and we know those who give really good speeches and are convincing, and those who have trouble. And you're looking for a couple things. One, do they answer the question? That's huge. They need to answer the question. If they get a question about Iraq, but they spend the whole time talking about Afghanistan, they miss the point. Okay, they got to answer the question. Number two, their content. Do they have sources? Is there a logic inherent in what they're saying? Can you follow it? And especially if you're not an expert in whatever they're talking about, which is possible, you should be able to follow it. Do they have sincerity of the speaker, their voice, their diction? They're able to control any speaking habits that they have. They should have control of their body. They shouldn't have nervous habits. All of these things matter. Now, let me talk a little bit about content in politics. It is very possible that a student answers a question and it's the opposite politically that you would agree with. That should not enter the judging of that student. If a student answers entirely different than you, then but they source and they have evidence and they're legitimate evidence, not Wikipedia, then that's a great speech if they speak well. Okay, them disagreeing with you is not a reason for putting them last place. Now, if they disagree with you and they don't source and they don't actually back up what they're saying, well, I mean, that's different, right? But you're just evaluating their speaking ability and their ability to make an argument, answer a question, and source it. So, last thing, this is extemporaneous speaking. So they have no idea how long they're going to run. So you need to give them time signals. This is difficult. I would ask the student up front on when they want you to start giving time signals. Usually we start time signals at 3, but they might want them at the 1 minute mark. You're going to want to make sure that you start the time on your phone as soon as they start speaking, and then keep track of that. Keep refreshing your phone to make sure that you have the time on there. If they ask for, like, let's say 3 minutes, at the 3 minute mark, what you'll do is just hold up 3 fingers and hold it up nice and high. I hold the darn thing up like I'm raising my hand in classroom, and I hold it there and I wait to make sure they saw it. And I might hold it up there 10 seconds and then I put it down. And then at the 4 minute mark, I put 4 fingers up and I hold it high, and then 5, and then 6, and then it gets a little tricky. We do for like 6.5 minute mark. So that way they know they're getting close to the end of the speech. We do like a little half mark like this, half. And tell them before you start, this is my gesture for half. And then at 7, we do a fist because they're out of time. Now, technically they have 30 seconds to finish up. They shouldn't go over the 7:30. If they go over 7:30, the only penalty is they can't place first. But make sure you do give time signals. If for some reason, let's just say something happens, and you nor the other judge in the room give time signals, you totally screw it up, and then they run 8 minutes. Okay, you need to tell that student before they leave, look, I screwed up time signals, it's not going to count against you. All right, because they had no way of knowing unless you give them good time signals. So please make sure you do that. And again, the judging criteria, who's number one? Well, who answers the question, who gives good evidence, who has the good speaking skills. It's a mix again between speaking skills and content. I can't tell you which one to weigh more. That's your decision. But either way, I hope you enjoy extemporaneous speaking.